ABC2, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
All right, let's take a look at it here. Winter weather alerts for part of the viewing area, not all the Baltimore area, because southern Howard County and Anne Arundel, PG, and across through the lower shore does not have the advisory, but we certainly have it here in northern Baltimore County, also into Hafford County, Havre de Grace, back into Carroll, Frederick, and here into Cecil County. Even more impressive, a winter storm warning up. This is going to run through the early morning hours tomorrow and potentially even later in the day from the northeast corner up into the Philadelphia area, as the storm will be slower to clear that region, and ultimately it continues to move up into New York and Boston. So major travel trouble and headaches as you try to get into New York and Boston through the day tomorrow. In fact, a few blizzard warnings here along Cape Cod and Long Island. Here's the system coming in, beginning to ramp up, strengthen a bit, starting to tap into a little bit of Atlantic moisture. Already some pretty heavy snows coming down out here toward northern West Virginia, Pittsburgh, and winter weather getting awfully close now to Garrett County and Deep Creek Lake, where they were well into the upper 50s today out in the Maryland mountains. Here we go as that system comes in tonight. First some rain, then wet snow, converting finally to just a snow event as it clears out through the midday tomorrow. So key time and key hours here, anywhere from about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning through about 10, 11 a.m. After that, it's going to be primarily a concern for New Jersey, New York, and on up into Boston. We'll just have a few lingering snow flurries. In its wake, slushy inches of accumulation. We think a 1 to 2 around Baltimore into Chestertown, closer to 2 to 4 as you go from Harford County, northern Baltimore County, Westminster. Could get a pocket a little higher north of Hagerstown or north of Elkton, where we could get that 3 to 5 inch range. Just a slushy rain for Annapolis across through Easton and Point South. We hit 70 to 72 today. Record-breaking numbers 2 days in a row. The ground temps are warm. That is going to eat up some of the early snowfall that comes down. Eventually, the ground cools down, but it's a delayed effect. It takes a while. 72 today. That was nearly 30 degrees above average. Once again, smashing that old record of 70 from 1965. You see the sunshine was out in force. Clouds increasing a little bit, though, late tonight. Current condition at BWI is 51, so still well above the freezing mark of 32. We still got to drop another 20 degrees basically before we even get in play with the freezing mark. So stay tuned. Ground temps will remain warm for several more hours to come. Futurecast shows the air temps dropping at and below freezing by early tomorrow. But keep in mind, the main precipitation is going to start clearing out around 9, 10 o'clock. So this is going to be a very close call. I do think rain, wet snow, and eventually just some slushy snow coming down to finish it out. Hour by hour, breezy, then mixed precipitation toward 5 a.m. Give yourself extra time on the morning commute. We'll flip it to snow more rapidly as you go well north of Baltimore and toward the Pennsylvania state line. Whatever snow we have early on, or snowy mix in certain areas south of the city, begins to taper off after 10 a.m. We begin to clear it out, just turn blustery and colder through the day. I do think icy spots are concerned tomorrow evening possibly, because whatever moisture we have left on the ground, that could freeze up as even colder air pours in behind this boundary. It's really a cold blast that's going to give us a reality check for about 2 days, push the warm air out. But the low pressure area riding along that boundary, sort of being fueled by the temperature contrast, that is going to create some wintry problems in the morning. You see just how cold the air is behind this boundary. So yes, winter set to return here, at least for a couple of days. Again, overnight, those temps falling. A late rain snow mix, early wet snow tapering off by midday tomorrow. A couple inches in its wake toward that Pennsylvania state line. And take a look at the setup here as we go from tomorrow into Friday. Stays cold, then we turn it mild again this weekend from the 50s back into the 60s.